host today. Today I have Lewis Anderson here from Dazzly, and we're going to be talking about how Dazzly website builder supports New Zealand businesses. So we're going to be getting into their Digital Boost Alliance offer and what it is and how you can benefit from that. And so I'm really excited to have Lewis here. Actually, Lewis, come on, say hello. I realize that my background isn't right, is it? Yeah, I've got to switch it up. Yeah, so let's get into a little bit about who Dazzly is. You know what I mean? And I know you've got a whole plan, so feel free to go through with your plan. I'm going to make sure the chats are running in the back because I know a lot of folks have been tuning in that way. Oh, you're on mute. Welcome, welcome. It's always got to happen once.
Sorry, Anna Marie.
There we go. I was like, oh, he's really waiting. He's being so polite.
Can you see that okay there on the screen share?
Yeah, it looks perfect. Thanks.
Hey, thanks. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And as always, thank you to Digital Boost for the opportunity. The topic today is how Dazzly and the Digital Boost Alliance Network support New Zealand small businesses. So my name's Lewis Anderson. I'm co-founder of Dazzly Website Builder. A little bit more about me quickly is I had over 8 years experience in the business of custom website, mobile app and software development. All sizes of businesses and just about all industries, and I spent a lot of time on site forming a genuine understanding of what our clients do. Had strong growth through 2020 and even stronger now with Dazzly. We're helping hundreds of New Zealand businesses all across the country and really proud to be doing that. We've also more recently joined the Digital Boost Alliance, which actually will be a little bit more on that later, and we're also 100% New Zealand made. So the structure of the talk today, we're just going to go over a number of things. First, we'll talk a little bit, we'll just touch on the problems that business owners face in getting a website or becoming digitally literate in New Zealand. Next, we'll go into a little bit more about Dazzly, just to give you a bit more on us as a company. Next, we'll talk about how Dazzly and Digital Boost have been working together for some time. So we've done a number of talks and done a number of things together. A little bit more about the Digital Boost Alliance. Then we'll show you some customer examples, customer testimonial video, and then we'll jump right back in and have a chat about the Digital Boost Alliance commitment offer and what else we're doing together. So just to jump to the problems that New Zealand businesses face when getting online or trying to upskill and become digitally literate. The truth is that these problems are somewhat universal. The first one is the lack of access to local expertise. This one, in fact, is a little bit more so for the rural businesses, which we have touched upon in a previous talk. The second part is the lack of funds to pay for said expertise. The third one, naturally, is the lack of time to engage or the time to commit to a digital strategy. And the fourth issue is the lack of belief in the relevancy of digital to their business. And on this fourth point, I will say that Digital Boost and the other providers here that have been doing talks through the network are doing a good job of reducing this fourth part, because we're definitely seeing across the board a much more wider interest from New Zealand businesses in getting websites online. So again, a little bit about Densley, about us as a company. So we're a small team of dedicated software developers, website professionals and entrepreneurial enthusiasts. We have a bit of a split. Some of us work from home, some of us work in the office, which is ironically located halfway down Dominion Road. So it's very Kiwi. We're quite flexible. We'd like to let our people be autonomous and do their job in the way they think is best. And the statistics reflect that they're doing a great job that way. A little bit about software. So a few things. On the left here, we have a photo which a customer took from their holiday somewhere between Napier and Gisborne, my understanding. They were actually able to update their e-commerce store all the way from this rural location, and had they needed customer support, they could have got through to our team as well. So the unique things about Dazzly is it's extremely fast to go all the way from just having an idea to launching your business website online. In fact, you can complete that in one afternoon or one short session. It's extremely easy. It's people all over New Zealand, regardless of IT skill and design background, are finding it really easy to build websites and launch them themselves with our platform. We have local New Zealand support, so we have an 0800 number, you can call anytime. If we don't take your call at the time, then we'll get back to you very shortly with an answer to your specific question. And we also have a number of integrations and some other great stuff coming for some New Zealand specific functions. So I won't go through the whole list here, but just another two things I want to point out here are the support again, the 0800 number, and top tech. In all the businesses that I've run, using high-end latest technologies has been a very important value for us. And with Dazzly, we're able to deliver you those same high-end technologies, but for a very low, in fact, very low monthly price. Now, looking at the work we have done together with Digital Boost, we've actually been working together now since the beginning of 2021, and time really flies. In fact, we're doing some talks in late 2020 as well. And I just think it's been a good time, and let's have a look at some of the stuff we've done together. So we've done the Q&A talks, such as the one you're listening to now. We've covered a variety of topics, so I'm just going to touch on the latest 4 talks that we did, just as an example of that. So there's been how to write and talk about your business, how to successfully cold call in New Zealand, redefining profit, business with purpose, and of course, rural service business websites. So I think it's a really important point to state that while in all instances we use digital tools to carry out some parts of these functions, and that they allow us to do it more efficiently and with other benefits too, I think it's really important to note that, you know, Digital Boost and the entire alliance, and of course Dazzly as well, we understand that the business gets done not just through digital tools, but from promoting fundamental business skills as well. And I think that, you know, why there was a large digital theme to these talks, it's very important that businesses are able to succeed fundamentally, especially in the early years, and sometimes we have to give them a little bit more to back that up with as well. So I think later on I'm going to touch on some statistics, but just to sort of put a point across here, it's very interesting to note that as many businesses are created in 1 year in New Zealand, a very similar number also close. Now that doesn't mean that all businesses are closing in their first year, and naturally all businesses do have to start small. But it does sort of drive home the point that when you do have businesses in their first years, it's really important to give them a helping hand. And this is one area where through Dazzly and the Digital Boost Alliance offer, we really can help businesses a lot in their first year with something that doesn't need to be extremely hard or extremely expensive. There are a lot of things you have to do in business that are hard, but getting a website and a great online presence, it doesn't have to be one of them. So we've talked about a number of things. We've talked about who your business's customer is. We've talked about cold calling. We've talked about where you can find content. We've talked about how you should lay out your website. You know, why a website is relevant to your business, and what structure would actually make sense to you, and why you would go about getting one. I've done a nice office visit. As you can see, there's Nicola, Anna Marie, Marcus and myself back last year at the MindLab office in Newmarket. And we've done a lot of collaborations over the same. And now, as of 2022, we are a member of the Digital Boost Alliance. We're extremely proud of that fact, and really happy to be able to join this initiative and help get the word out further. And of course, this happens to be our Spotlight Week. So these are some of the core values of the Digital Boost Alliance, and I wanted to put them here as their values we also strongly agree with. Additionally, if you are watching this as a private service provider or product provider here in New Zealand, whether or not you're a digital business or you're a business that's conducted offline, the truth is that we really need a lot of different expertise. And I know even if you're uncertain, that everyone would appreciate if you could just put an expression of interest through, as we're always looking for more quality providers for the Alliance as well. In terms of the Digital Boost Alliance, we've also put out a talk here on selecting a website provider for your business. So I definitely encourage you to check that out, a little bit more about New Zealand landscape, probably about a little outside the scope of this talk. And next we have a little feature just shortly on our commitment offer. So both Digital Boost and Dazzly together, you can get up to 25% off your first year. So essentially what you get is the ability to build a website. If you're happy with the website, which you can put together on a free 30-day trial, then only if you're happy with what you put together, then you can decide for this discount price It also takes care of the domain for the very first year, but you can get that all for just over $400, and it's a really excellent value in your first year compared to how much benefit you can get out of that website, and the support and education you'll get from doing it the right way as well. So I definitely encourage you to consider that and consider giving it a go. Let's talk about some of the customers. So this is high maintenance Abseil from Manawatu, and Jimmy's a really interesting customer of ours. He's had his website for quite a while now, and it's really helping him with establishing that professional representation. In this case, he already has quite a lot of business due to connections and his time in the industry. But the truth is, he needs something professional to represent his business, and we're really happy to help him do that. Another example here is Kapiti Piling and Earthworks. So they have a nice little website here, and one of the first businesses to take advantage of our video background as well. Another one I'd like to highlight here is Will from Hydrex. Hydrex is a very interesting company. Again, it's another example where you may have thought potentially on the face of it that Hydrex Excavation Company may not need a website. And the truth is that Will generates his business from his existing industry connections as well. However, it is very important to have that professional representation and to be able to put those values across, and really just to make the most of your time and have something professionally there online as a point of representation and contact. Another example from Timaru. So again, goes to show, no matter where you are in the country, you can put together a great website to promote your specific services. And again, it's not just limited to construction companies either. We have a number of natural product sellers and clothing retailers on the website too, creating their websites too, I should say. So very quickly, I'll show you a video of a customer testimonial. So Anna-Marie, please let me know if this doesn't display correctly. I'll try to adjust the screen share now.
All I can see is the link. I don't know if you...
That's okay. I'll put it to, I think,
okay.
Do you see that now?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Okay, we'll just play this. So hopefully it plays okay.
Yep.
In January of this year, I started off with my new electrical contracting company. In order to generate business, I went on the websites to look for various website service providers. I found Dazzly, and I was very impressed with what they had to offer. Well, I chose Dazzly mainly because they seem to offer a lot more in terms of being able to generate a nice descriptive website. It was very user-friendly, I found. A lot easier than a lot of the others that I've sort of trialed. And if it comes to putting details in, you weren't restricted in the amount of words you could apply, for example. It was very easy to upload photographs. Yeah, very good in that respect. I'd never built a website in my life, so I was a little daunted, but once I got into the package, and the application itself really assists you. You can just put the photographs in you wish to. You can then click on headings and fill them in. It also gives you plenty of space in order to put what you want to put. You're not restricted to, for example, 40 characters. It went on, and I was able to put all the information in, which actually is a good benefit to my business. And the customer support, excellent. If I ever had any problems or queries, I phoned the customer support office, and they were so helpful, and they guided me in the right direction, gave me tips, and told me if I was doing the right thing. And it made it easy for me to then go away onto my website and then add bits, improve my details, and add more photographs. So excellent, very good. When I first started inquiring, and I visited various other website providers, several in fact, I was quite daunted by the prices they were expecting me to pay. I eventually found Dazzly, and I looked at what they could provide, and I looked at the pricing, and I was very impressed for the cost that they charge, and the service they provided, and the facilities within the website. It's next to none. My customers that have actually looked at my website have actually said, wow, Nick, that's really good. Very impressed with the website. It's very professional. It's very easy to actually do, and the end product was outstanding. Brilliant.
Right, I'll just jump. Does that look okay, Anna Marie?
Yep.
Great. Thanks, let's recap. So you got a little bit of a better idea about the sort of customers that we help at Dazzly and sort of businesses we're looking to connect with around New Zealand. So again, just to recap on the problems that businesses face here is the lack of funds for local expertise, the lack of access, the time to engage, and whether or not they believe the relevancy is there for their business. Now, the way we're addressing some of these issues with Digital Boost and the Alliance is one, for releasing talks as this. So obviously you can see the talks we've released as Dazzly here. What's also very important is that there's a large range of providers on Digital Boost. So I really encourage you to check out all of them and just to make the most of this opportunity. It's all free education as long as you're a New Zealand registered business. And again, through Dazzly itself, we have an 0800 number. We're more than happy to discuss your specific business situation. If it's something you'd like to talk about in confidence, if you have any particular concerns, or if you just outright believe that you may never need a website, there's a chance you're correct, but we'd be interested to have a chat with you and see what the thoughts are behind that and see if we can help find some value there for you. Again, we offer a very extensive help and support section. So we have a large number of FAQs, which we try to update regularly. We have a large number of support videos as well, demonstrating the entire process of putting a website together using our software, both service-based and e-commerce. So you can see the entire process before you even sign up. Again, there's our video library on YouTube. We also have a library on Vimeo too. And so this is one area that I can speak a little bit less to in terms of things external to Dazzly. So within Dazzly, essentially, we've transitioned it to a model where we were able to allow New Zealand businesses to create, a very high value website, a website that if it was developed through a custom website agency would cost, in some cases, many thousands of dollars, usually, a number of thousand at the very least. And I think it's really important to state that, what we've done is essentially enable New Zealand businesses to be able to get a website of very high value for really just one low monthly fee. But by choosing a model where you pay a monthly fee, which you otherwise would have for hosting anyway, you're really taking advantage of the fact that as we update the websites, you are continuously getting the latest technologies as well. And I think that frankly, it's a really excellent offer, and we've done a good job of making this more accessible to businesses with lower budgets in their first years by essentially charging a very small fee in place of a rather large upfront cost and a lot of uncertainty. With us, you know what you're going to get before you commit. There's a free 30-day trial to make sure you like the software and you're confident you will. And then again, it's a small below monthly fee, so it's very low risks for businesses to try them a good go at a digital strategy. And we've got your back as well with support. What I can't speak to, and what I think there is a lot of information on that you should take the time to find out about, is there are a large number of government and other initiatives that can help with support for various things, such as training and upskilling. So I think at the end of the day, if you do need help, it does pay to do a little bit of research. I can't speak to any specifics here. Perhaps at the end of the talk, Anna Marie might be able to elaborate on one or two options, but I would just say that internally as a company, we're doing our best to try to make the best affordable for all New Zealand businesses, because we genuinely believe it should be, and our technology proves that it's possible. So speed and time was a nice infographic we've made here, demonstrating that you really can make a website in just one afternoon. And that's not just a basic website. You can really make yourself something quite nice. Really all you need is just a couple of photos and the know-how can do that you have from running the business. It really, just in one session, you can put together something quite nice. And again, we'd really encourage you to jump on and give the trial a go. And finally, the relevancy. So having an online presence rather, it's not just relevant to businesses that are naturally online. For example, in a clothing store, you can imagine there's quite a lot of relevancy to having an online store. But for someone that does remote farming, contracting, it may seem that you may not need a website, but the truth is that no matter what the nature of your business is, you are offering a product or perhaps a service, and that product or service will have customers. And the natural fact is that not everyone will know about your business, even if you do have prominence in your local area. The truth is that just about every business really does need a website. And we're more than happy to discuss your specific case and find out how we can best help your business with an appropriate website for your needs. So it's not just for personal trainers and clothing stores, it's really for a lot more. So what's next for Dazzly in 2022? Well, there's a lot going on. We have our next generation templates. So we have very recently released e-commerce store 2, which is a great new template for e-commerce store websites. It's really fantastic. Some of the latest stores we're seeing come online. We have a little bit of an announcement here. We have we have Service Warrior 3, our premier service template, which again is a next generation template that's coming out in Q2. We're very excited about that. We know it's going to set a very high standard for service providers. And note, of course, that everyone that's on Dazzly existing, you can change your template whenever you like. We don't charge different price based on which template you pick. So if you have an existing service-based website, you can simply upgrade the template to Service Warrior 3 and it will be at no extra charge. We're bringing out some of the enhanced features, so video backgrounds, customizations. They're going to be more available widespread throughout all our templates, which we're excited about. Internally, we're continuing to expand, but really most importantly, we just want to continue to work on helping as many people as we can. So the more people we can have on board successfully using Densley and Digital Boost as well, the happier we'll be. So in a sense, we're also continuing our efforts in terms of partnership, collaborations and content. So we really do put the word out. If anyone feels like writing some digital-based content with us, really happy to collaborate with anyone who's interested or just have a bit of a chat and to see how we can help each other's customers even more so. Let's have a look. And there's so much more as well. So really, it will just, at the end of the day, if you want to help New Zealand small businesses, we want to talk to you. We think it's really important that we help them succeed, especially in their early stages of business, so they can establish and go on and generate profits and support New Zealand Inc. Just to jump through to the next bit. So I had the original statistics on a nice printout from many years ago. And I noted last week that they've actually released the preliminary data provisional, I should say, for February 2021. Now, please note the source of this is Statistics New Zealand. And while you don't need to look at the whole table, I just want to point out that if you actually highlight between 0 to 5 employees as a size of the business, you're actually talking about approximately 97% of all businesses. And that's not surprising, because once again, all businesses do start small. But again, it really does drive home the point that small businesses are really important, and any initiatives and anything we can do to help New Zealand small businesses is going to help us all more. At the end of the day, these businesses generate GDP, they generate value directly through the services and products they deliver, and they also generate a lot of indirect value, potentially through the external positive influence of what they do, through the increased diversity and choice of product and service offerings, and through many other things. And another thing I want to jump back to, and I apologize I don't have the respective information here, is just that the statistics around the number of businesses that are created and closed in a given year, it is absolutely crucial that we give New Zealand small businesses the best chance we can to succeed. Digital is an area where they can succeed, and an area where Dazzly, Digital Boost and the Alliance and all of our participants are working really hard to make it easier for New Zealand small businesses. So recommended reading, selecting a service provider for your website, we'll give that a good go. It'll give you a bit more information about New Zealand. I'd reference back to the service business website for rural businesses. If you haven't checked out that talk, if you are a service business or a rural service business particularly, that'll be a valuable talk. Otherwise, I'd encourage you to jump online and find the videos demonstrating the full build, either a service website or an e-commerce website, so you can see from step 0 to launching your website how easy it is with Dazzly. And yeah, just want to say thanks, and I'm more than happy to take any questions. And once again, I'll just highlight the offer here on the screen. So as a sort of final point, I guess it's a great way for New Zealand small businesses, organisations to really kickstart their online journey in the best way possible for a great price. So yeah, hope that all makes sense, and I'm really keen to take any questions if there are any.
Yeah, I'll be jumping from platform to platform to catch any that are coming
Sure.
through. I had a bit of a question about, so say somebody, starts a business and then life gets in the way and they, end up stepping away from their business. How does that work with your subscriptions?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we try to make the offer as simple as possible. So normally with Dazzly, you can either choose a pay monthly or pay yearly plan. We think naturally, if you are really in the earliest days, it could make sense to go with a pay monthly plan. At the end of the day, you do get a discount if you do the pay yearly plan, but with pay monthly, you simply only commit on a month-by-month basis. And we're humans at the end of the day. If you come and sit down and have a chat with us, we can always figure it out. If you're a business that's doing charity work or some other things as well, we're happy to offer discounts, even separate across from the yearly payment. So we'd always just encourage people to get in touch if they have any concerns about that. But it's a very low risk option on the pay monthly or pay yearly plans. With the pay yearly, you get the domain first year paid for by us as well. So it's quite a good little extra.
Really love one of the things I love about New Zealand in general is just that real sense of fun, that sense of family. Like everybody, I feel a lot of folks I interview here that are New Zealand based providers and suppliers, they're just so open to having a chat with somebody. And like if you come into dire straits, you'll actually there's compassion, whereas in a lot of other countries, maybe you don't experience that kind of compassion. I always just find it so lovely, just the mentality of the people here in New Zealand. It's such a beautiful trait, and you exhibit that totally through Dazzly. And it's but I never don't recognize it. It's really quite lovely. It's lovely to hear that you just have a chat with folks and just see if you could work it out, because it's just not the case with the international providers. Yeah,
it can be a little bit hard to get more of a one-on-one with them as well. And I think it's I think that what you say is, I think it's definitely a generous comment, but I think also what you say is very true. Is that many other providers here, through what they do naturally and through contributing to Digital Boost, we're all just trying to help. And I think as well it's a natural from an aside, from a commercial practical point of view, is that we succeed when our customers succeed. So if you come on board and you do this and you really use the business and you follow our advice and our guides, and we'll look over your shoulder and give you a helping hand, then the probability of you generating business and leads and opportunities is much higher. So we know this works, and we can give you advice specific to your business. So therefore it's the case that we are able to be flexible and helpful with people, because we know when they do follow the advice and they do the things and put the work in, and it's not a ton of time, that it really does deliver good results. So yeah, we're confident in our product and happy to help people along.
Now, what would you say are some of the key integrations that people like using with Dazzly?
Yeah, sure. So I'll probably just highlight two of them, because I think those two are really important. There are a number I could speak to. So the two that I probably will highlight at this point are, naturally, our facilities for getting started with accepting online payments are extremely helpful. So with just very basic documentation and some straightforward information, you can be accepting payments online within minutes. And that's primarily due to our integration with Stripe, as well as with our own software development efforts. So we're very thankful for Stripe for that integration. Another key integration, which I didn't touch on here, is with Afterpay. So if your e-commerce store wishes to offer buy now, pay later or other lay-by options, Afterpay is one of our key integrations there. And again, you can go from just wanting to start, for example, a clothing store to offering credit card payments and Afterpay within the hour if you're ready to jump on and give it a go. So yeah, those are two of the key integrations. We have a number of really exciting integrations coming up, but I am going to touch on some of those in the next talk. So I think I'll sort of lay that with
Keeping us hanging.
Anticipation there. Yeah. So there's some really good stuff coming though, and we're a number of exciting integrations this year, which we're really looking forward to.
Cool. So when you talk about, like, obviously lay-by has become super popular. Hey, it was popular in the 80s. It's made its way back, but online now. Afterpay and all of that, you know, when we were kids, like that's how some people, you know, we would buy like a washing machine or whatever. But do you also integrate with financial platforms? So like those are ways that people can pay through your platform. Can we hook up like our Xero to you, or is that not integrated currently, but maybe this is this wink wink of something that's actually
so I'd say
sorry, am I spilling the beans or
a little bit, but I think it's a reasonable expectation of our customers as well. That integration is coming very soon, as with equivalent ones, but as it currently stands, there are ways for customers to manage these things on the Dazzly platform, but the truth is that we're just dedicated to making things as easy as possible. So we have a number of those strategic integrations coming. But
cool. I know that you guys are always innovating because I get the updates and you're like, oh, this new feature is coming. And I always love hearing that from providers. Actually, it's great. John from Design Space, who was on Friday, stepped in for us. He always lets me know what's coming, and he's quite
I know John and his team are very busy as well. And we literally update the platform weekly. So it's not always visible features that will come out weekly, but they're coming pretty hard and fast.
Yeah, you guys are great. Look, I've really loved working with you guys over the past year and more since we started in January 2021. So I'm like really enjoyed having you guys on board with Digital Boost. You came to the table right away and just offered lots of support for us as we were getting started, and that was like a real blessing to our team. And so we really appreciate you and your whole team and all the work that you do, and just want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us what your special offer is. Your Digital Boost Alliance commitment is really, it's your commitment, and it speaks a lot to Dazzly. So thank you so much, and looking forward to more sessions because I know we've got a few lined up.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you very much. We appreciate all that you guys and Digital Boost Alliance do as well. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Lewis. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you all tomorrow.